Boom. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. This is Conor Holway of the Golden Hours podcast, and this is a quick live podcast. We're live on camera. If you look closely, you can see my calf popping. And to my right, camera left, we have an aspiring and experienced and seasoned director with me live here in Hollywood. Explain who you are, man.
Yeah, what's up? I'm Luke Jarvis, Massachusetts, born and raised. Born in Lowell, grew up in Bedford, Mass. Just moved out to LA a couple weeks before my boy Conor, chasing those Hollywood dreams. And you can't see my calf right now because people have to pay extra for that. I'm not giving that away on a free podcast.
Now, who else is in the room with us? Don't hide behind that platinum curtain, brother. Who's here?
It's me, Armand's 80, bro.
Do you guys have a producer mic back there, too?
Yeah, we do.
All right, yo, check in, brother. What?
Yeah.
So currently, just as reference, I'll upload this to our podcast just to have a little bit of content this week because I didn't run an interview. I'm currently scouring studios in Los Angeles to find a home for the show where we can start regularly having guests in the film and TV world. And so currently Armand, this is technically East Hollywood.
Yeah.
We're in East Hollywood at a Third Wheel podcast studio. Armand's making a pretty good pitch for the space, I'd say. I do need to see the parking lot after this, but it seems like it's good vibes all around. Tell me what you think, Luke.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. You're the podcaster, dude. I'm just on vibes, but I like it. They got nice lighting. I like the facility. You set us up even though we were a little early. I think you can get a little Golden Deer swag in the back there behind us. Put something on the wall. I think you might be in good shape. It's a nice, convenient location for me. We're like 5 minutes from my apartment.
Driving or walking?
Driving, probably like a 20-minute walk.
But those are those steps you were trying to get on.
I am
you were
all
telling
about
me you're
the
trying to get on your
steps,
Hollywood
dude.
body.
That's right. I've been doing about 14,000 steps so far a day. I think I'm at about 20 today, so
20,000?
20
Total.
steps, yeah. Whatever it took to get to my car.
And then into the building.
And then you carried me once I got here.
Now, how are you tracking your steps without a fitness wearable on your wrist?
So on the phone, and I know I've had people say that I'm leaving steps on the table by not wearing the fitness device on the wrist, but that gives me a little room to imagine that I'm even losing a few additional thousand, and that actually I might even be in those upper teens potentially. So I don't mind the lack of tracking there.
Now, you were telling me last time I was with you, how many pounds have you lost since you've been out here?
I've lost a little weight for sure.
I was gonna say, you look way leaner.
I don't have a scale, but that was like the pandemic body that you saw before in Boston, right? Like,
No, you were in movie mode body.
Yeah.
That's the late night Dorito body. You feel me?
Yeah, a lot of sitting at the computer for 12 hours of editing body. And now, I'm in the get tan, networking, moving around the city body.
Chilling in the Los Feliz Hills.
Exactly.
Picking up shorties body.
That's right. So I knew some work had to be done, and that's where the steps come in.
Okay, so if you were to have a Hollywood physique,
Yeah.
who would you aspire to be? But realistic. Don't be like The Rock.
Right. Well, I know. I mean, I don't really imagine myself that way anyway. I saw something with one of the Hemsworths recently where he's shirtless and ripped, and I was like, is that even possible for me? I don't even think that in my wildest dreams, if I committed myself to working out 24/7 for a couple of years.
I think you'd be surprised
Really?
at how you could transform your body in like a 10-year period.
And at least, I guess, they're like, I assume on the point where they're doing like some, like they're taking some supplements or something. They're kind of shredding their chest additionally.
Armand, you checking in, brother?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Tell us who you are and tell us where you come from.
My name's Armand Zadie, and I'm a podcast producer in LA.
You're from
born and raised LA.
Born and raised LA, yes, sir.
Now, let me ask you a question about growing up in LA, Armand.
What's up?
How old were you the first time you smoked a little
Ganja?
boof pack? Yeah.
Damn, I don't know. Probably 16 years old.
Oh, I guess that's like national average. How old were you, Luke?
I don't know. You got me thinking. I would think, yeah, maybe even a little earlier, kind of beginning of high school.
Damn, you're really a degenerate. Holy
Well, I had
shit.
a lot of buddies with older brothers. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, you're in ninth grade. You're like, I'm a high schooler now, and you're over their house. Back in the day, it was like you're chilling in a basement, and all of a sudden, somebody's pulling out like some scrappy seeds and rolling them up in something, and then you're just going in the backyard smoking for like 20 minutes and then asking each other if you think you're feeling anything, and usually the answer is no, no matter what you say.
Yeah, man, scrappy seeds kind of makes me think you were smoking catnip.
Might have been.
Now, Armand, so did you go to Los Angeles public schools or
Yeah, I did. I went to high school here,
whereabouts?
East Los Angeles.
Okay, now how many kids were in your school?
I don't know, man. Probably a couple grand, 2 grand.
Okay, so the schools aren't like insanely big.
No. There's a bunch of schools though.
Cool. Now, did you live with both parents growing up?
Yeah.
Nice. What did they do?
My dad owns a security company, and then my mom works at a law firm, receptionist.
So where did you get the creative bug?
Creative bug? Damn, man. I guess like just growing up with YouTube and stuff.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Yeah, dude, it's so interesting. So, mind you, Armin, I'm 26, and Luke's a little older than I am. It's so interesting how kids that are a little bit younger than us, YouTubers, like the idea of being a YouTuber is like a huge aspiration for a lot of kids. Am I right in saying that?
Yes, sir.
Isn't that wild?
It's insane. YouTube like became a thing when I was like a junior, senior in high school. I'm 32. And like, but that was like the total Wild West of like, you would upload anything and it was just a different ecosystem. I mean, I remember we ripped a hot dog eating contest off ESPN and then put our own commentary over it and then just cut in like our buddies eating hot dogs and made it seem like it was like all part of the same event. And we just posted it and it got like, 100,000 views, but the production quality was so shitty and bizarre that like, it's the kind of thing you would put up now and get like one view.
Yeah, that was the golden age, man, when anybody could make it.
Yeah, what would you guys say the quote unquote golden age was for YouTube? I remember, have you guys ever seen Jimmy Tatro's videos?
Oh, yeah, he's a big actor now.
Yeah, so when he was coming up was when I really loved content creators. I just thought things were so original on there. Well, that must have been like
2012?
probably a little later, maybe like anywhere from like 2013 to 2016. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, yeah. I was, yeah. His run on YouTube was about that long, yeah.
So you're familiar with his videos?
Yeah, 100%.
So good, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every year there's a like good YouTuber that just brings back like the good vibes of the OG days.
Who is it right now for you?
Probably Eric. That guy's insane.
His name is Eric.
His name's Eric, but his YouTube name is Eric or Mr. Beast. Both those guys are just on fire.
Yeah, I listened to the Mr. Beast podcast with Joe Rogan's show. Like, what a interesting guy.
100%.
Like, super altruistic, just
He
gives away
calculated that
everything.
shit, yeah.
Now, Luke, tell me what prompted your move out here initially.
Well,
So, mind you, Armin, Luke and I are both coming from like similar areas in Boston, and just coincidentally, we made the shift at the same time.
Interesting.
yeah. So, it was a couple things, right? Like made a feature film during the pandemic starring some of the funniest comedians from Boston and New York, right?
I'd agree.
And that was a great experience. That was sort of taking the pandemic to our advantage. These guys, their schedules are suddenly freed up. So as long as you can clear all the crazy hurdles of getting people COVID tested and all that kind of thing, it was a good opportunity to make something cheap. So we did that, and that was kind of how I spent my pandemic. And that was a great experience, and we've gotten great reactions and, did some festivals. It's available to watch on Prime, and it's going to be on Apple TV sometime soon. And that's all been sick. But at the same time, ended up feeling like that was kind of the end of the line in Boston. And I actually,
What made you feel that way?
just, well, it's been a few things. I went to film school. I went to NYU. And so I got a bunch of buddies that have been out here for a decade at this point.
I apologize. Continue.
And so, they've kind of been on me for a while of like, if you want, like the industry is here, right? Like if you're not here, you're not anything. Like you're just not on the map. You're not even playing the game. And I never like totally internalized that and understood it until kind of the combination of I did come out here last fall or so and spend like a week with them and just kind of like realizing like the scale, in Boston, Conor, like how we met is there are almost no people in Boston even trying to do this kind of thing. And you realize your tribe pretty quickly, and finding a single other person that has similar goals is like, you've found some gem basically. And obviously when you're out here, like it's just a ridiculously different scale. And that experiencing that firsthand, that finally sunk in, that basically I felt like I was adding 9,000 hurdles for myself by staying in Boston. And then alongside that, when we put out the movie, it was a similar experience. Dude,
it was a pretty quick turnaround after you dropped the movie to getting out here. It was almost instantaneous.
Yeah, well, so that was by the time I was done with it, I just realized that was I had to finish it and then get out here because this is where the action was. But it was while doing that alongside, again, it was that experience of sharing it with people from other cities and things like that, and the reaction be like, "Wow, you guys did this in Boston? Like I didn't even know that kind of thing happened. I didn't know it was possible." But at the same time, still feeling like disconnected from the conversation, like what do you do in Boston when you make a movie and now you want to make a bigger movie? Like who do you go to? Are you going to like the real estate guys, or like there just isn't that infrastructure or support. So it felt like at that point, all right, I've done what I can here. I've kind of maxed out on Boston and let's go. Let's get to California.
Yeah, Armin, to clarify, it's just a really weird thing from where we're from to make a film and to actually try to put it out. I mean, I know here you probably grow up with tons of people who have done it, but Luke and I, so I also made a movie in Boston, and Luke is the only other dude I know who has made a movie in Boston, but totally separate productions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you made the Apple movie?
I did. You looking it up on Google? That's me.
I just searched you up on YouTube.
That's the film I made, and then that's why I made the joke, Luke. I was in your film. So it was, yes, definitely the funniest comedians in Boston.
Oh, right on. Yeah, Conor is in the background in at least one scene.
I'm about 30 pounds lighter, brother.
And yeah, you are. And
now, I know what's so funny is that when that movie dropped, I put a clip up on my socials, and a lot of people were familiar with the main comedian, the huckster.
So we're talking
the book.
We talking Stav?
Yeah,
Malkius?
Stavros.
Yeah, so Stav.
Oh, is that Cumtown?
Yeah, exactly.
No way.
Yeah, well, there you go. Armand's familiar.
You guys know Stavros?
Yeah, he was in my movie. He's hilarious in that
Wow.
movie.
He's
Yeah.
like the #1 podcaster right now.
Yeah.
For his group, yeah.
Yeah, he's hilarious. So there you go.
I thought he was and genuinely worked really hard on the set too, super focused and
100%. I mean, he's super funny and got a great artistic soul. And Conor was in a scene with him. You guys are even in the same shot at one point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stavros, his podcast Cumtown, makes like $100,000 a month.
Yeah, at least
more than that.
Kills it. Yeah.
via what, Patreon?
Yeah.
Wow.
But so, there's an example, right? Like, I would say the majority, potentially the large majority of our viewers are people coming to it from him, from his, they're within his audience. And that's cool. And he's a huge runaway hit. But at the same time, there's still just a cap. Like, there's that little subsect of people online that's their thing. They listen to that podcast that are familiar with it. But if you're out in Boston, and that's like your main way of promoting, you're gonna have a nice bump right out of the gate. But how are you maintaining that visibility, basically?
I also don't want to sound super bashful on the city though either. Like, truthfully, like it's an incredible. I would really appreciate my foundation there.
Oh, 100%. I mean, and setting aside like the arts, dude, I love Boston. I love growing up there, and all my best friends, I think, for the rest of my life will be from there. But at the same time, I think one cool thing about getting our feet wet there like we did is any artistically minded person, they're down to do stuff in a way that isn't going to be the case in LA or, I mean, I lived in New York for a long time. It's similar to LA of like everyone's grinding, everyone's got 15 different artistic endeavors. And if you call them up and you're like, yo, we're shooting something this Sunday, I just really need somebody to stand in the background like Conor did. You're going to have a lot harder time recruiting those people. And that was one cool thing about Boston, not just the people standing in the background, but a lot of the comedians, the stars that we have from Boston are guys who have been on Conan, have traveled the country, they've been on the Tonight Show. Like they have the resumes to stand alongside a lot of comedic talent from New York or LA. But because those opportunities aren't knocking on their door every day, if you come to them and you say, I got a short script or something like that, and they think it's funny, like they're down to do it. And so I am definitely grateful for that.
Also, as a producer, like sales pitch first, much easier to extrapolate and manifest a plan for a film in Boston, as was just what I'm gathering out here, because no one's ever heard that. If you go to a business and say, hey man, I need like $5,000, I'll put your logo in a movie.
Right.
They've never gotten that pitch before. And like, oh my God, here are these guys from our hometown making a movie. As opposed to here, it seems like it's more of a nuisance for most people because they've heard the pitch 10 gazillion times.
Oh yeah, I would imagine that's the case for sure.
And like you gotta like deal with like taxes and stuff and like unions. I was kind of just like it's a little bit under the curtain for me. Well, I think you guys unionized your movie, right?
Well, yeah, we were the first SAG approved production after the initial sort of first wave of the pandemic.
You should tell that on your next Tinder date.
Yeah. Well, Rob, my co-producer, really did think that was like a compelling selling point. I think I never really was convinced because I think it's a little too hard for any normal person to understand. Yeah, but that was a lot of paperwork, dude. The lowest point of getting SAG approved was you had to like have straight up like floor plans to show like the different zones and to show that there was enough square footage for the relative to the number of people involved in the production. So I had to like download a free trial of like architectural software and make like detailed floor plans of like, yeah, this is about how big the room is and here's the furniture and this is where the people will stand. And I had this moment of like, what am I doing with my life? Like I am such a bad person to be trying to navigate this like hardcore architectural software right now. And whatever has led me to this point, man, I'm lost right now. I got to get through this so I can get back to the stuff I actually know how to do.
Would you have been better off just bypassing the whole thing and not making
SAG,
a SAG
we
approved
just
production?
couldn't. We had enough people involved that, they're in the union and they're like, yeah, man, I'll do it, bro. Like,
But you have to pay them, right? If it's unionized?
Conor, are we recording right now?
Goddard.
Yeah, I mean, in some cases, yeah, but at least if you have sort of that foundation of the paperwork and all that, they just don't want anything where 6 months later somebody from SAG comes across the movie online and they're like, wait a second, like what is it? Like what are you doing? And that was the main thing I perceived. It's not like what we were ever possibly going to be able to pay was a meaningful amount to someone already in the union. So it wasn't about the money so much as like, I just don't want to do a favor and also get blowback from the union later.
Understood. I get it. No, Armand,
What's up?
tell me your favorite movie, brother.
Dan, that's such a hard question, man. You just can't ask that to a person, but I guess first thing that comes to mind is probably Inception.
Really?
Yeah.
You a big Christopher Nolan fan?
Yeah. Like he makes some really good films like The Prestige. But
okay.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
The Prestige a lot.
Yeah, that's up there for me on the Nolan oeuvre. Probably with Dark Knight would be my top two with The Prestige.
Yeah, The Prestige was just too good, man. You can watch it so many times and you always pick up on new shit,
What was that new Tenet? Did you guys see Tenet?
Yeah, Tenet's really good.
Bro, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you on Tenet.
Yeah.
And listen, I understand how difficult it is to make a production like that, but I left that movie feeling like, damn, I really got to get re-prescribed my Adderall. That was so confusing.
Yeah, I just kind of told myself, like, I don't even think it's supposed to make sense because I didn't get close on figuring that one out. But, so how about this? As someone coming from a younger generation, like people, I had a conversation along these lines earlier today with an older guy who's a producer in the industry. And there's this perception that we might get to a point where like a younger generation, the generation becoming adults now or even behind them, like doesn't even like a movie isn't even a thing to them. Either they're watching like total bite-sized content, whether you want to call that TikTok, YouTube, whatever, or it's like this forever long serial format stuff, like 10 episodes all dropping at once. And the like, if movie theaters go away, and that's not a thing, the desire to have like 90-minute, 2-hour movies would go away. But I just struggle to believe that. To me, the movie is still the best format, right?
Yeah, I struggle to believe that as well. I mean, a lot of people just went out and saw a 3-hour Batman movie,
Right.
And a 3-hour Spider-Man movie. So I don't think like long form or short form content's like it's a problem. It's just a quality or what people are into.
Right. And my like personal preference is I still feel like the movie, the 90-minute, 2-hour format, I just feel like those are better stories than so many of the TV shows. And, my hope is that we steer back toward more movies and less TV.
I disagree. Hate to be a Debbie Downer on both you guys, but I just really think no matter what, humans are going to err towards the side of convenience. So if they can be entertained in 5 minutes, they'll prefer doing that over a 2-hour movie. And that's coming from someone who'd made a movie as yourself. Like, people would much rather watch something short if it gives them those dopamine hits.
But I think there's different, like the dopamine hits are like you're lying in bed scrolling your phone, or you're on the bus, or you know what I mean? Like,
I know, but as a movie fan, like, yeah, you go to the theater and you experience the sound and
right.
the feel, and you get your popcorn and your icy, and it's just an experience. But I genuinely don't think people care.
I hear you on that, and that's probably true to a degree. But even if it's all right, I'm home, it's the end of the day, I got my girl on the couch, it's 7 p.m. on Friday, what am I doing? I'm watching.
I know what you're
2-hour
doing,
movie.
brother.
Yeah, no movies. But for a lot of people, I think that's a thing. And so I don't know. I don't. That's why I was curious for you guys' answers. I really don't know what the answer is. I know what in my heart I want it to be, but
I don't think it's a 2-hour movie in that situation either. I think it's let's watch Ozarks.
right.
Am I right in saying that, Armand? Like, I'm sure you watch more shows than films.
I don't know about that, man.
Well, you listen to more podcasts than watch movies.
Yeah, I guess I'm not the target demographic you guys are thinking of, but definitely, man, I don't know. Like we are in the golden age of television, though. I feel like television shows have never been better ever. Really, I mean, you're probably thinking like Sopranos or some shit.
Baby.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't even hold a candle to some shows like Breaking Bad or something, bro. Like, I'm sorry.
But that's Breaking Bad's a little older too, though.
Yeah, sure. Okay, well, Better Call Saul. That's happening right now.
You don't like that show?
I'm just kidding. I watched like a few episodes of the first season back in the day when it came out, and I wasn't feeling it.
What about, do you guys like Big Mouth?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah.
Love Big Mouth.
You're talking to a Big Mouth fan. I've been really fascinated by animations recently. I just think it'd be so much more fun to produce than a film, dude.
Right.
Just because you can manipulate and control everything in studio, and there's none of the stressors of being on set.
Yep. Pay the animators very little. I know how you think, Connor.
Exactly.
but-
Ship all the work out to the Philippines.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I'm relieved to at least hear there are a few, even if it's not everybody, a few Armands out there who are still watching some movies, because I don't know, that I almost tell myself that as people get more and more, I feel like most TV shows are flopping right now, and if those shows are flopping, like maybe that's going to mean people move back toward more. A movie is just, you're doing a whole production to create 2 hours of content instead of 8. You know what I mean?
Business-wise, it just doesn't make sense either, though, right? It's like
Yeah.
you could go shoot Ozarks, which is like, I don't know, 12 weeks of content for your audience for what, $40 million? Or you could go shoot the 3-hour Batman movie, which is 3 hours of content for $250 million.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, budgets are like all over the place though. Like one Stranger Thing episode is like $35 million.
Now, those VFX were crazy, though.
Yeah.
What they did visually was insane.
But he's talking about the budgets for the new season. Is that out yet?
No, it's not.
I'm talking about the last season,
Yeah.
though. Still, the VFX
Still, yeah,
is
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I genuinely believe we're in the golden age of television, like Succession, and like I can't think of all the shows right now, but there's just too much like good shows, and we're like overwhelmed with good content. and like people still watch bullshit shows like Grey's Anatomy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Armand, do you know this kid with the Emerson sweatshirt?
Yeah, that's my buddy Malcolm. Yeah,
Is he from Boston?
Yep, he's from
I was
Boston.
gonna say
Emerson, yep, Boston.
you'll have to. He said his name was Malcolm.
Yeah, I'll link you guys up. He's a big Boston guy.
You'll have to ask him if he knows about the AMC right on Tremont Street on the.
I'll ask him right now.
Yeah, text him. Say that's where we premiered our film. Luke was there.
So
Yeah.
say that again.
There's an AMC right on Emerson's campus called AMC. I don't know, downtown Boston.
Probably.
That's where I premiered my film, and Luke was there looking dapper, hitting
Yeah,
all the moms.
it was doing my best. It was one of the more prestigious events I've ever been to in the city of Boston. Conor had, Boston's young and beautiful wearing cocktail dresses and
Scantily clad
tuxedos.
clothing.
There was one guy in like the full Joker makeup, but
Yeah,
I think
that was
that's,
a little much. I know that kid.
I think that's
He's a
just-
nice kid.
that's just par for the course of any event now. I think 1 out of 100 people just dresses like. I was downtown in LA a couple days ago, and it was like noon on a Saturday, and there's a guy walking around full on Heath Ledger Joker outfit. It's like, all right, buddy, get after it. Enjoy your Saturday.
Yeah, I think the more we drive through downtown LA and Hollywood, we'll probably see the whole DC universe.
But Conor, he had some nice sponsorships. I mean, I was eating well at his premiere.
A little Shake
My-
Shack.
Yeah, Shake Shack, my complimentary cocktail. Then we sat down and watched the film.
It was a big huzzah, a big bang.
Yep.
Yeah, Armin, I'd like to get a little more into the party scene out here in LA as well. So that's what I'm doing.
Did they do that here?
Yeah, we're big on party. I'm actually going to like an influencer party like this Thursday. I'm interested in seeing how that goes. I've never actually been to like a big like mansion like party before,
Where's it
Is it-
at?
it's
You
in-
don't have to give the exact
Yeah, what's
location.
up
but-
with the invite, bro? That's
This
crazy.
is at Malibu. This is like
Oh, you're out
shit.
there.
we're talking about some like $10+ million mansion,
Yeah.
way more than that. I've never been to that. I've been to like a couple like $1 million like rich assholes party like from high school and stuff. This is like next level. I've never been to this before.
So what are you wearing, man?
Fuck, I don't know. Like rich people don't wear anything crazy, dog. What are you talking about?
I know, but you don't have to front like you're rich.
No, I'll fucking wearing a t-shirt. Well, I don't know. I'm not gonna wear anything crazy at all.
You got to rep the Third Wheel Podcast Studio, man.
Yo, probably. Who
So
knows?
Do a little
yeah,
branding.
how did you score the invite? Are you influencer?
Well, I just have a couple mutual friends. Like my buddy Jacob Sartorius is gonna be. He's the one like who got me into the party. So
Right on.
Luke might be the only dude in LA without social media.
Yeah, I'm like, that's how you know how old school I am. How from the earlier generation, man. I don't have Instagram or any of that.
You're probably going to live a much more content existence.
hey, man, a lot of people don't have social media. Everyone that made the movie The Social Network doesn't have social media.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, dude, I also got some bones to pick with that movie because I feel like they totally, by like rewriting Zuckerberg's backstory and making it seem like he just got dumped by a girl. And, you know what I mean? Like you're messing with recorded history a little bit. I feel like they made it more boring by making it like a thing of jealousy rather than he's just like a savant freak who had this like vision for the
Yeah,
world.
I
Basically.
don't know. It wasn't really a vision. MySpace was out there. He was,
Yeah, right. But just by like rewiring his backstory a little bit, I don't know. That movie's never totally clicked for me.
Did
even
they
though-
market it as a based on our true story
Oh,
film?
100%.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like people see that movie and think he's that guy, and I don't think that really quite is who
I
he
think
is.
he's fucking worse, dude.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like more sinister actually than what is in that movie.
Yeah.
You guys are really hating on the Zucks.
I mean,
That's
he's
crazy.
a pretty bad person, but
Why do we think that? Think of all he's done to connect people. That's crazy.
I mean, but that's nothing new though. The Facebook is just the
Bro,
most popular social media, but
Dude, Facebook is the most revolutionary social platform ever.
nah, I disagree with that, man.
How are we like hating on the Zucks? I don't understand that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Think of how much he's innovated and connected people all over the world, man.
I don't know.
So what? Like some of these dudes who are elite entrepreneurs got demons in them, but so does everybody, man. He's super famous, so it's magnified.
I'm mostly agnostic here. I'm not going to take a position. I know Connor's just sort of angling for the invite to the next Facebook influencer party.
No, I'm
Meta,
leaning
meta.
I'm leaning
Yeah,
anti-Zuck.
Yeah,
Definitely anti-Zuck.
I'll never understand that. Anyway, now, Armand, before we wrap this up, where would you recommend Luke and I go on our next business meeting for lunch in this specific area?
In this specific area, fuck, man, who knows? Who knows? In the content creation industry, let's see.
What doesn't? I mean, we're looking for a good time.
Are you guys just looking for a good lunch spot nearby?
Yeah.
Oh, Dave's Hot Chicken's pretty good. It's like down the street.
Yeah, but bro, that's asking for a coma. I've heard about it. It's just like a grease blast to your face.
I don't know, dude. You guys are definitely looking for some low-key LA shit, right? Like some mom and pop. I don't know. I can't think of any right now. I'm blanking.
Armand, where's your family from? Like, what's your ethnicity?
It's mixed. Bengali and Indian.
Nice. Dude, that's been like the coolest thing to me about Los Angeles so far is just how ethnically diverse the entire city is. It's amazing, dude.
For sure. Very different than Boston.
Yesterday, I met a Canadian Senegalese person. I was like, that's the craziest mix I've ever heard.
Yeah.
We're all the white guys with red hair who work corporate jobs.
Yeah, I hear you.
Now, where's your family from, Luke?
Mostly Lithuania. Yeah.
It's all clicking now.
Right. Yeah, we've covered this. But Boston, Southie, everyone pictures Southie as like all Irish, and obviously there's a ton of Irish there. But there was a full Lithuanian neighborhood. There's still like a couple streets where they got the Lithuanian church and the Lithuanian social hall and all that kind of thing. And so that's an underappreciated part of the Boston Southie history, but they're still there.
What are some of the strong characteristics Lithuanians are known for? Just have to go to the bathroom.
Dude, that's a good question. I mean, here's a better thing I'll say. I went to Lithuania a couple years ago, right before the pandemic, and it straight up was one of the most fun experiences of my life. They were under communist rule, right? So it's only in the last 30 years that they've experienced the free world, and what you have is a very young country in terms of like it's the ages scale young. There's way more young people than any other generation, and they are like hungry for opportunity and entrepreneurs, and like they're grinding, and a lot of them want to leave Lithuania because there's still limited opportunities. But dude, they party every night. I'm gonna say something controversial, and you can fact check me, but I think Lithuania, and you're gonna laugh, but they have the hottest girls of any country in Europe.
I've never really spent time in Europe.
And here's how you would know is if you just go on Facebook, Zuck's Creation, and type in any random
Goat's Creation.
any random Lithuanian female first name and look at the first 5 results. You're going to find like 3 like super hot girls at least. Literally any name.
All right, so I'm just saying, in your free time, you just go on Google and search up random
No,
Lithuanian women.
I'm just trying to back up my statement here.
So you want us to go on Google and Google random Lithuanian women?
Yeah. Just trying to spread the good word, dude.
You're a classic character in this novel we call life. Yo, Armand, how's the bathroom break, bro?
Oh, it was great, man.
All right.
My bladder was about to pop, bro.
Okay, Nick, you just give us a heads up next time if you want, man.
No, all good.
Okay, sweet. All right, well, cool, man. I'm glad we ran this.
You guys literally still have an hour.
Okay.
You know that?
Well, when did we start? 11:26.
Something like that. I have no clue.
Well, this will be a good exercise in what the market wants. Is it short form content with a couple dopamine hits, or is it that long 2-hour blast that you both are talking about?
Did you sit through the whole Mr. Beast Joe Rogan episode?
I was doing stuff while listening to it.
Oh, no, that counts. Did you finish the episode, though?
I did.
Okay.
Was that 4 hours?
No, not 4 fucking hours. Probably like 2 and a half.
There was that one Joe Rogan with Alex Jones, which is like legendary.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. Kind of retarded. Yeah.
Actually, I'll tell you what was really a great episode was when I was driving out of Vegas to get here. I listened to the Bob Lazar about the Area 51 stuff. And so it was like really cool driving like near Area 51 and listening
Yeah.
to stories about Area 51. I really enjoyed that. Now, here's a little disclaimer. I haven't run a live episode since pre-pandemic, like not on Zooms. This is awesome. Real quick, if you guys get any sort of value from this, was this my pitch? If you get any sort of value from this episode, whether you laugh, you cry, you're entertained, you learn something, dude, just share it with a friend. And if you don't have friends, you shouldn't be.
Listening to a podcast.
You got it, man. You got it. All right. Hey, Armand, thank you so much, brother. Good
Yeah,
to go.
yeah, of course, man.
Now, real quick, you guys will edit this and then send it to us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sweet.
A lot of gold. Shouldn't be too hard to edit.
Okay, with that one. Perfect. Thank you, man.
Not